You got a gift for it. Why, back home, didn't folks come from miles around just to have you fixing and sharpening things?
I ain't just sure it was my sharpening that brung 'em, Granny.
What you mean?
Well, you used to let 'em heft the jug whilst they was waiting. And I don't know which they like better, the edge they got from me or the one they got from you.
Oh, it wasn't my jug, Jed, that brung 'em. It was your work.
Something I miss out here, Granny, and it's doing for other folks. It just don't seem neighborly for us to keep to ourselves the way we do.
Well, it ain't us that's standoffish. It's our neighbors. They were from the very start. Why, when we moved in here, not every one of them lifted a finger to help us.
But they didn't know we was moving in, Granny. Since then, every single one has offered to help us move out.
Well, I got taters to peel and fat back to slice. If you can do for these Beverly Hill folks, you got me beat.
Well, it won't do no harm to try, Granny. Might even do some good. I'm getting lazy as old Duke there. He's so lazy, he's got to lean up against something to bark.
I noticed you laid a bed late this morning.
Yeah, must have been better than 5:30. Well, a man has got to keep busy, and the best way I know is doing for others.
What you got in mind?
Well, I thought I'd take my grinding wheel and some tools, go around the neighborhood and see if anybody had any knives they wanted sharpened or any fixing done.
You won't get past the front gate. Our neighbors are high society folks and movie stars.
Well, they got to slice their fat back same as everybody else.
All right, go and find out for yourself.
Duke? Come on, Duke. We got to commence making ourselves useful. I got a notion folks are going to be real glad to see us coming.
Stop that racket out there. Don't you know that... Oh, Mr. Clampett.
Morning, Mr. Drysdale. I'm sorry I rung the bell a mite loud.
Oh, no, it's beautiful. What is this?
Well, this here is my handyman wagon. I'm going around the neighborhood fixing and sharpening for folks.
You're not.
Yep. Thought I'd come here first.
Thank goodness.
Got a lot needs doing, huh?
No. Oh, I mean, yes. I'll hire you for the entire day, and you can work in the garage.
Well,
I'll pay you anything you say.
Well, Mr. Drysdale, I don't aim to charge no money.
Well, then why are you doing it?
Make myself useful for folks, keep busy.
Well, Mr. Clampett, you can't go around Beverly Hills with this contraption sharpening knives.
Why not?
Well, because people around here are very fussy about this sort of thing, especially my wife.
Well, if you're worried about the kind of work I do, you just have your wife step out here with a butcher knife.
Are you kidding? Mr. Clampett, I'm very anxious to talk to you about this, but I'm late for an appointment. Now, suppose I see you at your house within an hour.
All right, that'll give Duke and me time to call on 4 or 5 neighbors.
No, please! Oh, I just remembered I have a broken chair. You can take it home with you and work on it while you're waiting.
Well, if it ain't broke too bad, I can fix it right here.
Just a moment. Clumsy me. I dropped it and stepped on it.
I'm afraid that's a take-home job.
Good. I'll see you there.
Come on, Duke. Well, let's see that, Duke. What kind of varmints did you catch? That's fur slippers.
Oh, my wife's been looking for those. They're her new mules. Thanks, Duke. See you later, Mr. Clampett.
Well, Duke, that tears it. I know these Beverly Hills folks had sweaters for their cats, raincoats for their dogs, but slippers for mules.
Come in, Milburn. Come in.
Sorry to be late, John. Just as I was leaving home, Jed Clampett dropped by.
Oh, he's unhappy with your bank again?
No, he isn't, so stop drooling. As a matter of fact, he dropped by to see if he could do anything for me. That's what good friends and neighbors we are.
Yeah, well, you gotta keep him that way, because if I get another crack at that account...
Why don't you fly the skull and crossbones over this bank, you pirate?
Calm down, Milburn.
You leave the Clampetts alone. Now, you call somebody in here to act as witness. We've got these loan papers to sign.
Send that new girl in, will you? Oh, sit down, Milburn. Relax. Here, let me take your hat.
Nothing doing. It might fit you.
You are a nervous man, Milburn. You better take up a hobby. Here, let me show you what mine is.
That's fine for you, but I happen to be married.
Oh, not the girl. I'm talking about the ship and the bottle lid. That took me 3 years to build it. Wonderful therapy.
Never mind that. Let's get these papers signed.
Miss Graham. Miss Graham, this unpleasant gentleman here is Mr. Drysdale of the Commerce Bank.
Hi.
Hello. I'm sorry I was a bit gruff, but I'm a very busy man. I have a lot of problems on my mind.
Oh.
Now, we have some loan papers here that need your sweater. Sing it.
A wonderful hobby, Milburn. Of course, if you start with one of these, you're hooked. This thing kept me busy for 3 years.
Really? Could I borrow this?
Well, sure.
This might be just the thing I need to calm my nerves.
Well, I'll be doggone, a boat in a bottle.
Yes. You see, Mr. Clampett, I've been giving a lot of thought to your problem of keeping busy. Now, a friend of mine had the same problem. He solved it by building this boat.
How'd he get it in there?
He built it in there. It took him 3 years.
He could have built it a lot quicker outside the bottle.
Yes. He wanted to build it in there.
Why?
It's his hobby.
How's he gonna get it out?
He doesn't want to get it out.
How's he gonna sail it?
He won't. It's just to look at.
Be easier to look at outside the bottle, wouldn't it?
Yes, but
Seems to me he wasted a boat and a bottle.
think of all the absorbing hours he spent.
Yeah, he wasted them too.
Well, he didn't consider it wasted. He wanted to do it.
Why?
It's his hobby.
Howdy, Mr. Drysdale. Jed's got your chair fixed as good as new.
Yeah, it's out back, ready to go.
Well, I'll be doggone. A boat in a bottle.
One of Mr. Drysdale's friends built that.
How'd he get it in there?
He built it in there.
Took him 3 years to do it.
It's gonna take him another 3 to get it out.
You don't want to get it out.
Why not? He can't sail it in there.
You don't want to sail it.
Why did he build it?
It's his hobby.
What's a hobby?
I don't believe you explained that, Mr. Drysdale.
Well, it's something, it's a way of, like, I think I'll get my chair and take it home.
Well, don't forget your boat.
Oh, I'll come back for that. Now, you study it. You may want to build one.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, Jed tells me that your wife got some new mules. I'd like to see them. Where does she keep them?
In the bedroom, I suppose.
Jed, do you ever get the feeling that we're living in the middle of a bunch of nuts?
I do for a fact.
Now, bring the rest of that hobby stuff.
Well, what about the travel folders? That South Seas cruise might appeal to him.
Only as a last resort. I'd hate to take a chance on his money winding up in the Tahiti savings and loan.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
Jethro?
I have got some good news for you.
I can use some.
Hey, you know that boat that was in the bottle?
What do you mean, was?
Well, I got it out for you.
You didn't.
Well, yes, sir. It was easy. All I did was knock the bottom out of the bottle. How come nobody else thought of that?
Jethro, it took Mr. Cushing 3 years to build that ship through the neck of that bottle.
Well, he can do the next one a heap quicker. It's got an opening this big now.
Greetings, Jethro.
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane. You want to come out to the cement pond and help me dive for something?
I'm afraid I can't just now. What are you diving for?
Oh, a little boat about, so big? You know something, Mr. Drysdale? That rascal don't float worth shucks. But don't you worry. I'll get it back. If it ain't going down the drain.
Chief, do you feel all right?
I never felt worse in my life. Howdy, folks.
Oh, Mr. Clampett.
I'm just fixing to start out with my handyman wagon again.
Oh, wait, we want to talk to you about taking up a hobby.
Well, Well, Mr. Drysdale, if it's building boats and bottles, it don't just grab a hold to me. Jethro seemed right took with it, though. You can talk to him.
I did.
Mr. Clampett, there are many fascinating hobbies. No man of your means can afford any one of them. Now, step over here and let us show you these priceless collections of philately and numismatics.
Oh, stop waving your college degree. Mr. Clampett, how would you like collecting stamps?
Well, to tell you the truth, we don't write just a whole heap of letters.
Take over.
Well, of course, these are not just ordinary stamps. These are very rare, very valuable collector's items. Now, for example, here's one from Hawaii. The price on it is almost $50,000. Would you like to own that?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Well, I don't know nobody in Hawaii, and if I did, I wouldn't write to them at that price.
Mr. Clampett, these stamps are not to put on letters.
What are they for?
Well, they're just to look at.
Like that boat in the bottle?
Let's take a crack at numismatology. Or, as some lexicographers would prefer, numismatics.
Now, give me that. Now, Mr. Clampett, here's a hobby that's worth anybody's time. Collecting money.
Mr. Drysdale, if there's one thing I don't need, it's more money. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to get started being useful to folks.
Now, wait. Just take a look at these coins. This collection belongs to a friend of mine. You see that dime?
Yeah.
He paid $12,000 for that.
He got slicker. The dime's only worth 10 cents.
Not this one. This was minted in San Francisco in 1894.
You mean if he put that dime in one of them candy machines, he'd get out $12,000 worth of candy?
No, he'd only get 10 cents worth.
You better help your friend, Mr. Drysdale. He needs you. And hope he ain't toting that dime when he gets a sweet tooth. Because no matter what comes out of the machine, he ain't going to enjoy it.
What about the coins and stamps?
Later. Mr. Clampett, I just remembered. I've got a lot more things at home that need mending. Will you go there first?
You bet I will.
Get him. We've got to beat him to my house and start breaking things.
Uncle Jed? I got the boat without even diving for it.
Looks like the one that was inside that bottle.
Yes, sir. I got it out. You reckon Mr. Cushing will give me a reward?
This belong to Mr. Cushing?
Oh, yes, sir.
Fetch your truck, boy. We got to go see him.
Well, you reckon Mr. Cushing will give me a reward? I'm the only one that figured out how to get it out of the bottle.
How'd you do it?
I just whacked the bottom off it.
Fetch your truck, boy, and hope he don't do the same to you.
Jethro did it, huh?
Yes, sir, but the boy's here ready to take his medicine.
No, I'm delighted. I've been trying to figure out for years how to just knock the bottom off of this.
Oh, yes, sir. See, you got another one over yonder. I can show you how I done it.
No. You let me do that one.
Well, I'm pleased that you ain't upset, Mr. Cushing. Now, if you got any sharpening or fixing to do, just let me know where you live, and I'll come around with my handyman wagon.
Well, I live on the corner. You'll come around with what?
My handyman wagon. I got a few tools on it, my grinding wheel, whetstone.
Ain't nobody can lay an edge to a blade like my Uncle Jed. Anything from a plow to a pocket knife.
A multi-millionaire going around sharpening knives?
Well, that ain't all I do. I'm handy at fixing and building, painting, water witching, well digging, bee smoking.
Mr. Clampett, a man with your money? Well, you should be on the golf course or yachting or traveling or enjoying a hobby.
Now you're talking like Mr. Drysdale. You fellas got your banking work to do. I ain't got no job to make me feel useful or busy.
Yes, well, would you like a job in my bank?
Being a handyman?
No. Something important. Say, vice president.
Well, thank you, but I'm afraid I don't know too much except fixing and farming.
Well, that's what you can be vice president of, is fixing and farming.
At a bank? I thought you fellas just mostly loaned out money.
Yes, well, that's right, yes. You can loan money for fixing and farming.
You need somebody like that?
Mr. Clampett, would you believe it? I don't have one single man looking out for the farmers in Beverly Hills.
I'll do it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Jethro, come over here and congratulate your Uncle Jed. He's my new vice president.
Excuse my left hand, Uncle Jed. Hey, Ellie Mae, where's Granny?
She's out back yonder hanging up the wash. Sit down with Cousin Bessie here. Bessie, you already got better manners than some folks around here.
Put me down, you big lummox! Put me down!
Well, you hear the news I got, Granny?
Get me off this table. I need bills. Help me up, you big numb.
Pay no attention, Bessie. Go right ahead with your tea.
Get that monkey out of my kitchen.
Granny, listen. Uncle Jed has done been made vice president of Mr. Cushion's bank.
No. How?
Yeah. Mr. Cushion needs him so bad he won't even let him out of his sight to come home and change clothes.
Well, let's go see him.
Gee, I want to be his secretary.
Too late, Ellie. Mr. Cushion's done giving him a real pretty office and a real pretty secretary.
Is there anything I can do for you, Mr. Clampett?
Oh, no, thank you. Anything I can do for you?
Oh, no, you sit down. You're a vice president. My job is to be helpful and see that you're happy.
Mr. Cushion.
Well, how's everything in my new farm loan department?
Well, I ain't loaned no money to no farmers yet.
Oh, well, that will take time. They don't know you're here.
I better get out and go around and see them.
Oh, no. You stay here and get acquainted with our fine organization and personnel. How is Miss Graham? Everything you expected?
Oh, more.
Well, good. Well, her instructions are to make you stay here at the Merchant's Bank. That is to make your stay here at the Merchant's Bank as pleasant and as rewarding as possible.
Well, I'm right obliged to you, Mr. Cushion, for giving me this job. I just hope I can do you some good.
Oh, you can. Now, here is some bank literature that you might look through. How did that deposit slip get there? But, of course, might as well leave it. It might come in handy. Yes, I'll look in on you from time to time, and welcome aboard.
Ellie Mae, where's your father?
Oh, hi, Mr. Drysdale. Sit down and have a cup of tea.
Well, I can only stay for a moment. Where is your father? I got a whole house full of broken furniture and dull knives waiting for him.
Oh, I don't do that kind of work no more, Mr. Drysdale. He's vice president of Mr. Cushion's bank.
What?
Yes, sir. This sure has been our lucky day. Jethro got the boat out of the bottle, Paul got a job, and Granny found a whole bunch of pocket change in the front hall.
Oh, no! Granny! Granny!
Just a moment, madam. Unless you have an appointment, you can't see Mr. Clampett.
I can, too. He's sitting right there.
It's all right, ma'am. This here is Granny. Granny, this here is my secretary, Miss Graham.
Howdy, Miss Graham. Have a candy bar. Found a bunch of dimes, and I've been giving that candy machine fits. Well, how are you fixed for stamps? Found some of them, too.
Mr. Clampett, what is this I hear about you working for Cushing?
Yes, sir. He put me in charge of farm loan.
Well, I've been planning on having you take over the farm loan department of my bank.
Well, I wish you'd have said something. Mr. Cushing doesn't give me this nice office and secretary.
Well, come with me and I'll do better than that. I'll give you my office and my secretary. Right, Miss Hathaway?
Right, Chief.
I'll do better than that. I'll give you my office and his secretary.
Oh, no, you won't. Miss Graham stays here, and so does Mr. Clampett, I hope.
Nothing doing. He's coming with me.
He stays here.
Grab him, Miss Hathaway.
Throw him out, Miss Graham.
Now, hold on. I wouldn't want to be the cause of two old friends scrapping.
Then don't work for that pirate.
You call me that once more, and I am going to lose
Mr. Cushing, Mr. Drysdale, I reckon there's only one way to settle this. I ain't gonna work for neither one of you.
What are you gonna do, Jed?
Something I know how to do. Come on, Granny.
Wait, Mr. Clampett. You're not going to push that grinding wheel around the neighborhood.
Nope. Morning, Mr. Drysdale.
What is this? What's going on?
We's ready to take on any kind of work now. I do the toting and lifting.
Rusty does mousing and I do critter training.
And I'm back to fixing and sharpening.
And I do dressmaking and mending.
What do you need, Mr. Drysdale?
A doctor.
I do that, too.
Get to do no mousing for no movie stores.
None of us get to do nothing for nobody.
Well, Jed, do you still think you can make friends with these Beverly Hills folks?
I gotta admit, it ain't easy.
Jethro, did you keep track like I done told you?
Yes'm, Granny. Oh, we went to 27 places.
And what happened? Tell them, Jethro.
I know, Granny. I was there.
Tell him, Jethro, so he won't forget.
Well, at 14 places, we didn't even get through the electric gates. At 8 others, we got through and then got chased out by dogs.
Are you listening, Jed?
Granny, I was there.
Tell him, Jethro.
That leaves 5. At 3 of them, we got mean-mouthed by the butler. The other 2, one turned the hose on us and one called the police.
Want to hear it again, Jed?
Oh.
Is we ready to go back home to the hills where we belong?
I am.
Well, I'm not. I'd be out of place back there with them country people. I've done become what you call a big city boy.
Now listen, big city boy. If your Uncle Jed says we's going home, we's going home.
Well, I ain't said it yet. Got to study on it first and talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Mr. Drysdale. It was his wife that turned the hose on this.
Excuse me, Chief. Mr. Lester is here again.
Who?
Leroy Lester. He's the little bookkeeper who's been trying to see you for so long.
What about?
Well, it seems he's being replaced by a computer.
All the bookkeepers are being replaced by computers. Didn't he receive the mimeograph notice?
Well, yes, Chief, but Mr. Lester has been with the bank for 47 years. He was hired by your father. If you could just have a word with him.
Oh, all right.
Come in, Mr. Lester. Mr. Drysdale will see you now.
Oh, I can come back if Mr. Drysdale...
No, it's all right. Come in.
But I don't want to be a part.
Well. So you're Lester Leroy.
Chief, it's Leroy Lester.
Oh, that's all right, whatever Mr. Drysdale says.
What's on your mind, Lester?
Well,
Well, speak up.
As I told you, Chief, Mr. Lester is being retired to make way for automation in the bookkeeping department.
Oh, lucky you. Now you can take it easy. You'll be getting a nice big fat pension check every month.
I will?
Well, certainly. You qualify for government Social Security, don't you?
Sir, I thought you meant I'd be getting something from the bank.
Oh, well, you will. You will. We're not going to forget 47 years of faithful service. He qualifies for something from the bank, doesn't he? A high class, fountain pen, something like that?
Actually, Mr. Lester is entitled to receive a gold watch.
Oh. Are you sure?
Yes, Chief. Solid gold.
I hear those new stainless steel watches have got them all beat. Shockproof, waterproof. Swim a lot, do you? Oh, it's great exercise. Take a few lessons. Meanwhile, I'll have your watch engraved with your name on it in nice big letters. Lester Leroy.
Thank you.
Chief, it is Leroy Lester.
Oh, if Mr. Drysdale likes it better the other way, I can change it. Well, thank you again. Goodbye.
Mr. Lester, you haven't told Mr. Drysdale what you've been waiting all these weeks to say.
But he's busy.
Oh, speak up. What is it?
Well,
He'd like to go on working. He feels he can be of real service.
I'd be willing to give up the watch, even the raise you gave me.
When did I give him a raise?
In 1963, when the government increased the minimum wage law. Now, surely there is something Mr. Lester can do. He's always been our finest bookkeeper, an absolute whiz at figures.
Well, all right. Just call me an old sentimentalist. Lester,
Yes, sir.
one day a month you can go to my house and straighten out my wife's checkbook.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Miss Hathaway.
Chief, you are not serious.
I certainly am. Tell him he can start today. Of course, I can't pay him what he's getting here, but he can use the pool.
You are all hearts.
And get him one of those stainless steel watches. And I guess I'm just an old softy.
Paul, how many critters can I take back home with us?
Oh, I'd say as many as you can fit in here comfortable without scrapping. Why don't you fetch some out and try it on for size?
Yes, sir, Paul.
Get the truck greased, boy? Pretty near. I run out of possum fat.
Well, Granny, I'll give you some more.
Uncle Jeb, I gotta talk to you. We ain't really going home to the hills, are we?
Well, I kind of think we ought to give it a try. Granny's had it in her craw for a long time now.
Gee whiz, Uncle Jeb. Just between us men, I got me a real problem.
What's that?
I'm in love.
Who with?
Pretty near every girl I see.
I reckon it can't be too serious.
But there are 4 or 5 girls that I'm desperate in love with. In fact, I done asked them to marry me.
All of them?
Yes, sir.
What if all 5 of them says yes?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that'd be something, all right. Appears to me like this might be a good time for you to get out of town.
Hi, Mr. Lester.
Oh, hello, Miss Trigo.
Where are you going?
Oh, up to Mr. Drysdale's house. It's such a beautiful day, I thought I'd put the top down.
Is this your car?
Well, not yet. I still have 3 years of payments to make to the bank.
Mind if I ride to the corner with you?
Oh, I know. Certainly not. Here.
No, that's all right. Stay there. I can get in.
Oh.
Hey, Pa, we got company. Yonder comes a car up the driveway lickety-split.
Ain't that queer? You can't even hear the engine running.
Put your brakes on, little fella!
Oh, howdy there. You got car trouble?
Well,
He got stalled in Miss Drysdale's driveway, and she couldn't get her limousine out. And she went to mean-mouthing him something awful. If I hadn't come along, I'll bet she'd have turned the hose on him.
Well, don't let that bother you. She done hosed us down once today. My name is Jed. This here's my daughter, Ellie. I reckon you met Jethro.
Howdy.
hello.
Don't believe I caught your name.
Oh, it's Lester. Leroy.
Oh, Lester Leroy.
Well, that's close enough.
Come on inside and set a spell, Mr. Leroy. Jethro will fix your car for you.
Well, I don't have much money.
Why, you'd insult Jethro if you offered him any money.
No, he wouldn't.
Things is ready. Come and get him before... Jed, did you go and buy a sporty car just when we's leaving?
Oh, Granny, this sporty car belongs to this gentleman right here, Mr. Lester Leroy.
Oh, well, come and take victuals with us, Mr. Leroy.
Oh, no, thanks. I don't want to be any trouble.
It's on the table.
Well, you go ahead. I'll be all right.
Well, now, we sure don't aim to let you sit out here whilst we eat. Come on.
Oh, no, but I don't want to impose on anybody.
We'd be glad to have you. Come on.
Oh, no. I'll just wait right here.
Jethro, the victuals is getting cold. Fetch him in.
You rang, Chief?
I sure did. I want an immediate audit run on the books of that little playboy embezzler, Leroy or Lester, whatever his name is.
Playboy embezzler? Poor mousy little Mr. Lester?
I'll tell you how poor he is. He has one of those expensive hobbies going.
What's that?
Restoring antique automobiles. He was seen driving away from this bank in a 1919 runabout. And as for being mousy, get this. He took that beautiful Miss Trigo with him.
Well, perhaps he needed some help with your wife's checkbook.
Ah, that's a laugh. I talked to the butler. He never even got to the house. If you ask me, he and his sweetheart are headed for Mexico.
Mr. Lester is old enough to be Miss Trigo's grandfather.
And rich enough to be her sugar daddy. No wonder he didn't want to retire. He's got a gold mine here. And he's been working the claim for 47 years.
This is all too incredible to believe.
Oh, yeah? Well, you order that audit and alert the highway patrol. Oh, I'll bet right this minute that Pee-wee playboy is sitting at some resort hotel stuffing himself with caviar and champagne.
Have some more grits and jowls, Mr. Leroy.
Thank you. I've already had one helping.
Have another.
Well, it is awfully good. I don't know when I've had so much delicious food.
Well, you ain't hardly had enough to feed a baby bird.
Don't you eat this good at home, Mr. Leroy?
Ellie, that ain't no kind of question to ask. I reckon ain't many people eat this good.
Let me give you some more of these pickled crawdads.
Well, just a few. I'm not used to so much rich food, you see. I usually have just a half a can of beans for lunch.
What do you have for supper?
The other half.
That ain't it.
Well, you see, my landlady won't allow me to cook in my room.
Why don't you move out?
I don't think she'd let me. Oh, not that I'd want to. You see, I get my room for $2 a week.
That kind of money, you can't even cook?
No, sir.
At that price, they ought to throw your meals in.
I'd move if I was you.
Well, now that I'm not working, I guess I will have to find some place less expensive.
Speaking of working, I'd best get busy on Mr. Leroy's car. Can I please be excused?
Sure, boy.
Please don't bother.
Oh, I don't mind. Ellie can help me. Come on, Ellie. She can lift the car while I crawl under.
Now, hold on. That kind of work ain't for girls. Jethro, you lift and let Ellie crawl under.
There's no question about it. He's headed for the border with my money and Miss Trigo. What?
We have Mr. Lester's file.
Good. I'll keep you posted. Well, where is it?
Would you bring in the file, Miss Trigo?
Here are Miss Hathaway.
I thought you were on your way to Mexico with Lester.
No, Mr. Drysdale, he dropped me at the corner.
Exactly what you can expect from his kind. By now, he's probably picked up some senorita.
Miss Trigo agrees with me that Mr. Lester simply could not do these things.
Fooled you too, eh?
Would you like to hear about his antique car?
You bet.
That car was purchased new by Mr. Lester in 1919 at a cost of $550. In fact, your father arranged for this bank to finance it.
Good old soft-hearted Dad. I bet he even gave the scoundrel easy payments.
Very easy. He's been making them for 46 years.
And he still has 3 years to go.
You get back to your desk.
How you doing, young'uns? Got the car fixed?
Well, not yet, Paul.
You know, I'm about of a notion that that little fella needs fixing more than his car.
What you mean?
Well, turns out that we had his name backwards and he didn't have the gumption to tell us.
He is right skittish.
I believe that a good-sized bunny rabbit could face him down.
Reckon there's a way to help him?
I hope so. I sure would like to get a little starch in his spine before we leave town.
You mean to tell me that after 47 years they's given your job to a machine?
Well, I don't blame them, really. I'm getting old.
Nonsense, you're in the prime of life. My age.
But I'm not as fast as the machine, especially with this rheumatism in my hands.
Rheumatism?
Mm-hmm.
I got medicine that'll fix that.
Don't bother.
I got it right here. What's that for?
I'd like to help with the dishes.
I'll fetch Ellie for that. Here. You swallow this. It's good for what ails you.
Chief, Mr. Lester's calling you.
They caught him, eh? Oh?
Mr. Drysdale,
Yes?
I have a message for you.
Well, let's have it.
One tablespoonful of rheumatism medicine, doesn't that?
Word of honor, that's all I give him.
This is the first time I've seen the little fellow look happy.
He's grinning like a baked possum.
Well, let's get busy and load up the truck. We got a long trip ahead of us.
Well, what we gonna do about Mr. Lester?
Yeah, suppose he's still sleeping when we's ready to start out.
Well, just lay him out front on the grass.
On the grass with rheumatism?
I'll leave a jug alongside of him. For a week or so, he won't care where he is. Hand them to me faster, Jed. The quicker we get packed, the quicker we'll get on the road.
You know, Granny, I've been thinking. By the time we get this stuff loaded, it'll be sundown.
So?
So? That truck ain't the best thing in the world to be driving after dark with no lights and all.
Well, we'll do what we done on our way out here. Have Ellie run ahead of the truck waving a lantern.
Yeah, but the trouble with that was we couldn't keep up with her.
Well, then have Ellie run slower or Jethro drive faster. 'Cause I ain't aiming to stay one more night in these Beverly Hills where we ain't wanted and we ain't needed.
Until today.
What do you mean?
Mr. Lester, I ain't never seen nobody that needs somebody worse than him.
Now, Jed, he ain't our lookout. We didn't ask him to come here.
We didn't have to. Jethro fetched him.
Well, then have Jethro fetch him back where he found him.
For Miss Drysdale to mean mouth and turn the hose on?
Now, Jed, you stop right where you are. I know what you're up to. You're wanting me to feel sorry for that little feller, so's I'll give up the idea of going home and stay here and help you.
That's right. Is it working?
Yeah, doggone it, it is.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, where am I? What happened?
Well, you fell asleep.
Those dogs.
Well, don't be scared. They's your friend.
My friends.
Well, show 'em, fella.
They actually seem to like me.
Of course they do. That's 'cause you're a nice man. Dogs can tell.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, you're awake, Mr. Lester. How you feeling?
Rheumatism gone?
Oh, yes, I feel wonderful.
Ellie, get your critters out of the parlor.
Well, Hiram ain't mine no more. He belongs to Mr. Lester now.
Oh, no, really, my landlady won't allow me to have a dog.
I will, too.
What?
What Granny means is that she'd like to be your landlady for a spell.
Me? Stay here?
Be mighty proud to have you.
Oh, you would, really?
Yeah, say you'll stay, please, Mr. Lester.
Oh, but I've never... I couldn't. Yes, I'll stay. I'd like very much to stay.
Here's the audit of Mr. Lester's books. It has just come off the computer.
How much did the little crook get away with?
His books balanced to the penny. Not one mistake in 47 years.
I don't believe it. Feed it all through the computer again.
I'm afraid that's impossible. As it printed its last digit, it blew up. Mr. Lester, it was overworked. The computer people say it will take several weeks to repair.
You mean I have no bookkeeping department?
That's about the size of it.
Well, we've got to locate Lester. He's the only one that can handle the workload.
It so happens he's waiting to see you now.
Oh, bring him in, bring him in.
Come in, Mr. Lester.
My favorite bookkeeper, Lester Leroy.
Mr. Drysdale, my name is Leroy Lester.
Of course, of course. Now get down to your desk and get to work.
But I don't...
Now, I'm willing to forget everything that happened. You get your old job back with no cut in salary. And I'll even refinance that car again. Make those payments easier.
Mr. Drysdale, I'm taking an extended leave of absence. You see, I haven't had a vacation in 47 years.
But you can't afford one.
Oh, yes, I can. I'm staying with friends.
You haven't got any.
Where are you, Leroy?
In here, Jed.
Oh, hi, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane. Leroy, come on. Ellie Mae's waiting to give you a swimming lesson. After that, you and me's going hunting.
You two are friends?
You betcha we are. Come on, Leroy.
Oh, wait, Mr. Clampett. I need Leroy. He's my favorite bookkeeper. My only bookkeeper.
Oh, yeah, Miss Jane was telling me about your cipher machine blowing up. Well, we took care of that. Come on in, boy.
Jethro?
Boy, show Mr. Drysdale how you can cipher.
2 and 2 is 4. 4 and 4 is 8. 8 and 8 is,
16.
Yeah, thank you.
There, you see? Come on, Leroy.
16 and 16 is, 16 and 16 is, 6 and 6 is 12.